What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. I took a short break from doing long video form content, and I've been doing a whole lot of shorts and all that good stuff. But never mind all that. We back to it. Tap in, share this with your family, your friends. We about to get into this. The topic for today is black culture dying? That's right. Is black culture dying? That's the topic for today. Another thing, if you haven't already, go over to 6monthsandmarried.com and check out that course, right? If you're looking for dating advice or if you're looking to get married and get prepared for marriage in a short period of time, go check that out. I put a course together. Go over there, check it out, show your boy some love. But without further ado, we're going to watch this clip and I'm going to break this all the way down. Let's get into this.
Here is my little 2 cents that nobody asked for. I am sick of seeing Black Americans in the media, on social media, in the news, doing crime, walking around next to naked, the women, the men perpetuating gang violence, substance abuse. The absolute worst of our community is oversaturating the media, even though they make up a small percentage of all of Black Americans. The decay of our morality within Black communities has been slowly declining over the past 20 years, and no one is talking about it, no one is saying anything about it or trying to address it. And if you do, you are often told that you're policing Black bodies. If you say Black women, stop getting on the internet and in the media, twerking, walking around with little clothes on. People tell you that you're policing bodies, policing Black bodies, or it's respectability politics. If you are Black and you speak your piece on what we're seeing in the media, if you don't like seeing the low morality that is often portrayed about the Black community in the media, from the trap music to the Black women twerking in music videos and all over social media, the Sukihanas and the Sexy Reds of the world. If you are Black and you take issue with it and you talk about it, you are usually called bourgeois, sadiddy, uppity, it's respectability politics, you're policing Black bodies and the like. And it's like, no, I'm Black too. And as such, this being my ethnic culture as well, I have a right to have something to say about what I'm seeing going on. Your average Black American is a middle class, working class, blue collar Jane and Joe. The ghetto subculture, Black ghetto subculture that we see often portrayed and over inundated and oversaturating the media, those Black Americans make up a tiny percentage of Black Americans as a whole. But somehow they're in the media, overcompensating in the media, oversaturating the media. I know I don't just speak for myself when I say that I'm sick of seeing it, that it's gross, that it is destroying what Black culture actually is. It's co-opting Black culture as a whole and making it seem as though all of Black culture is ghetto subculture. I'm not the only Black American who takes issue with it. Because like I said, majority of Black America is middle class, not in the ghettos, not out here perpetuating gang violence, promiscuity, and everything else. And I don't care if you claim it's respectability politics. I guess so be it. Because this is gross. It's getting really gross out here how blatantly disrespectful and low class we're acting on social media and in the media, on the internet, on TV. And you can claim that this is someone else's set of moral standards, but no, it isn't. It isn't. Look at Black America in the 50s, in the 60s. Our moral standards back then, drastically different from what we have today, or what we're convincing ourselves is a moral standard today. Every racial group on the face of the planet has their own ghetto subculture within their respective racial and ethnic groups. This is the case for everybody, everywhere. White people, Asian people, Mexican people, you name it. The difference is that those racial groups and those ethnic groups do not allow their ghetto subculture to co-opt the entire culture as a whole and to represent the entire culture as a whole. They don't allow it. Everybody else within that respective ethnic group or cultural group or racial group has a right to say how they want to see themselves represented in the media, what they want to see and what they don't want to see, who gets to speak for them and who does not.
All right, guys. So you saw that, you heard that. Sorry for the long clip. I had to let her cook and do her thing before I break it down, right? I had to let her cook. All right, so we're going to try to tackle this thing piece by piece because she said a mouthful. And I do agree with what she's saying. Now, the question, of this video, or the question in the title is black culture dying, right? Is black culture dying? I'm going to go ahead and answer that before I dive into my soliloquy, right? So what I say is this: black culture is not dying, but it is getting worse. I'm going to say it again. Black culture is not dying, but it is getting worse. And the reason why I say it's not dying is because it's alive. It's alive. It's all over the TV. It's all in the movies. It's all in the music industry. It's all over social media. It's everywhere, right? There are a lot of races of people who are copying different aspects of what they would call black culture, right? There are a lot of different races copying it, right, in different ways, and indulging into the music and the shows and the fashion and the style and all that good stuff, right? So it is alive and well, even in the language, even in the ebonics and all that stuff. It is alive, right? It is alive. It's not dying, but it is getting worse. And I understand the stuff she was saying, and the thing about it is, like she said, a small percentage of these degenerates or people who are committing crimes and doing all this egregious stuff, and these people dressing a certain way, showing their bodies, showing you everything, pushing all this gang violence and all this stuff. That's a very small percentage, right? But the media chooses to push that percentage so far that if you are not of the black culture or the black race, you would think that the majority of black people move that way, right? You would think that majority of black people move that way, which is very dangerous, right, for blacks, because many blacks who have nothing to do with that type of lifestyle are being stereotyped, right? But I ain't mad at it because it is what many blacks put out there. It is what many blacks push. Even the music and everything else, they push that stuff heavy, and that's in every generation. I wish I could say it's only one generation moving a certain way, but it's beginning to be a little bit of all of that in all the generations, with the exception of the men and women who are, I would say, 60 plus, right? It's probably a few of them pushing the music and pushing these lifestyles, but below that, you got a little bit of everything, a little bit of all of that in each age group, right? And it's getting out of hand. And with the music, let me say this. I heard some people saying that we should boycott the music that pushed this over sexualization and this gang violence and all this other stuff. It should be boycotted. And this freaky dancing and all this wild stuff. And what I'll say is this: we are in America, and we do have a freedom of speech, right? We have a freedom of speech. So I don't think it should be banned or boycotted, but it does need to be censored, right? Say it again. It does need to be censored, which means that you may have to pay to hear it. You may have to hear it at a certain time of the night when it's assumed that children are asleep. Just like back in the day, if you wanted to hear certain songs or see certain videos or see certain shows on TV, you had to wait till it was late night. It was late night. They had BET Uncut. They had different things that would come on Showtime, Cinemax, HBO. After a certain time of the night, it would come on, right? Now, you're seeing that stuff in broad daylight. Everybody up, kids up, everybody up. Even the stuff on the radio. They played certain songs at a certain time of the night. All the freaky stuff and the wild stuff, they played it at a certain time. Now, you're hearing that stuff all throughout the day, which is crazy. So our children are getting to hear and see this stuff like it's the norm, like it's cool, like ain't nothing wrong with it. And that's where I have an issue at. This stuff needs to be censored. Thinking like Sexy Red, putting all that stuff out there. Her music, that wild, freaky music, and a little bit of all of them got it. But I'll just use her since she's hot right now. And our kids are hearing this stuff. And it's like, what? They playing this in Broad? But back in the day, it didn't go that way. Right? They had that stuff censored off. And they did have songs back in the day that did emulate that. If you knew what they were talking about, you can decode it and say, I know what they talking about. But normally kids didn't really know that that's what they were talking about with the freaky stuff, like Ride the Pony and all this stuff. Now they out in the open with it, right? They ain't calling the pony, they calling it what it really is. So again, this stuff should be censored. And with a lot of the songs, even some of the songs that we might consider gangster, ghetto, freaky, whatever. The thing about it is this: under the right constraints, some of it ain't all that bad, right? And here's what I mean by that. Just take some of the freaky stuff, right? I'm a married man. If me and my wife, I'm not saying we do, I ain't saying we do, but if we want to hear that stuff and we want to indulge in some of that, we can. We married. It's cool. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I ain't saying throw it all away, but at the same time, I'm saying the kids shouldn't have access to it that easily. Another thing, think about some of the gangster music, right? I can resonate from it because I come from the hood, when I was young, this, that, and the third, and I live a certain lifestyle. So hearing some of the music, I can resonate. Oh, yeah, that's it. And I might be listening to it while I'm working out. It might motivate me, right? Or I'm running, or I'm riding in the car by myself, just vibing. Like, yeah, play that. That's hot. Might have a hot beat and all that. I'm rocking to it. So there is a time and a place for it, especially if you can resonate with it. But it's not for everybody to listen to. It shouldn't be wide open, right? It shouldn't be wide open. And here's another thing about the black culture. The thing about it is this. So just like I said, I ain't saying demolish all of it, get rid of all of it. But the problem with the black culture is this. They don't celebrate the positive stuff enough. So that's the issue. It's not that there is some negative stuff, because every culture has some negative things in the music and the TV or whatever. But at least they do a good job of pushing that positive out there and leaning into the positive stuff that's going on. That's what we lack at. We don't lean into the positivity. You see what I'm saying? For example, I could post positive posts all day long about men, women, God, children, doing all this stuff. It'll do okay. But if I post a fight, oh man, the views and the likes and the shares gonna go through the roof on that, and the comment, all that's gonna go through the roof. But I can post something positive. I just like I said in the beginning of the video, I created a course recently, 6monthsandmarried.com, teaching men and women how to successfully date, go through relationships, and go through marriage in a short period of time, as far as sealing the deal, without weeding out all the BS and saying, boom, this is how you do it, and y'all will be on y'all way within 6 months. Y'all be ready to seal the deal within 6. The course only gonna take you about a week, but it's gonna feed you everything you need to know about how to successfully do a relationship and marriage. A lot of people won't push that. I might get a couple of shares here and there. Oh yeah, he's doing a positive thing. People go check it out, but they won't support it, right? But this is something positive. This is getting people married and bonded, so on and so forth. People won't rock with it, right? And which people eventually will, big time. But I'm just saying, early on, right? They won't. But I can post some drama, a fight, somebody getting shot, anything that's crazy, drugs, cars, money, anything like that. it's gonna get a whole lot of publicity. You see what I'm saying? But we don't praise the positive stuff, right? And that's what the issue is. Sure, you're gonna have the negative because you got things going on and people can resonate with their hood talking and hood songs and the music and the TV show. People are like, oh yeah, I used to be into that. But we don't push the positive stuff enough. And that's why the black culture is suffering, right? And that's why black people are at the bottom. Because again, we don't uplift the positive stuff enough. We do sometimes, depending on who it is. But by and large, we don't do it. And that's something that we have got to change. We have got to change. And I hate to say we, because I love everybody. I rock with people of all cultures. But I am a black man, so boom. Another thing, there's a reason why when men and women level up, they move away. If you notice, most people move away from black culture when they quote unquote level up. They move away from it because there's so much negativity attached to it, and people don't want to address this and face it. Just like, when they compare whites and blacks, right? They compare racist whites in certain towns. And when you try to compare them to the blacks, there's no comparison. You are 10 times safer. Let's say this, it is what it is. You are safer in a white town, neighborhood, whatever, right? Even if they have a reputation of being racist, you are safer there than you are in the most hoodest communities in America. You are 10 times safer. It is what it is. And people hate to lean into that. They buy into this racist and white. We doing this to ourselves. We do a lot of stuff to ourselves. I would argue that 1/3 of black people hate each other. 1/3. I was going to say half, but I say nah, half, that's too much. I would argue 1/3 of blacks, 1/3 hate each other just because it's like a secret competition. Don't want to see the other one doing better. I would argue 1/3. 1/3, and that's ludicrous. Think about that. That's 1/3. But like she said, majority of black people are in the middle class and they're doing well. And I know I delivered mail for 2.5 years. I've driven recycled trucks, driving through different neighborhoods and things of that nature. Areas where you wouldn't think is black people out there. But you being out there throughout the day, you start seeing them. Oh wow, that's a black person. Oh wow, a black person. It's a plenty of them, and they chilling and they hanging out. And they cutting their grass and they washing their cars and they having a cookout and they chilling. They minding their own business. But they out in them areas, them suburb areas. You don't think it's black people out? They out there. But you wouldn't know it because of what the media put out there. You know what I mean? They in the hood. They in them nice areas. I see them every day. Right? So they are alive and well and doing good, but what the media pushes and what a lot of blacks push on social media and in the music and on TV, you would think that it's negative. You're going to attach negativity to black culture. But blacks have allowed this to happen over the years. Blacks have allowed this to happen. So what do? It's just the reality of the situation, right? But something has got to change, right? Something's got to change. Just like I done had cars stolen. I done had the license. Recently, I had a license plate off one of my cars stolen. Right? Your own people doing this stuff to you. Your own people. I done had a gun stolen out of my car. Just different things. Just people. Be your own people, and these people got caught. But your own people. For what? I ain't never did nothing to nobody. You see what I'm saying? I ain't never did nothing to nobody. But these things will happen because it's jealousy and it's just hatred and it's just part of the culture. But something has got to change. Something got to change. Right? We got to change what we liking, what we sharing, what we pushing out there, what we allowing the people in the media to push. We got to change that. Right? How a lot of the women is dressing. Right? The hood gang culture, you can't let that be at the forefront of what's representing. It's a lot that gotta change, right? But is the black culture dying? Nah, it's getting worse. People going away from God. It's a lot going on. People trying to go away from marriage. They pushing this hookup culture. Knock this down, knock that down. They pushing that heavy. Don't settle down. gender war, in which that's going on in all races. But it's getting crazy out here, guys. It's getting crazy. People need to lean into fatherhood. People need to lean into motherhood. Come on. We got to raise these kids. Get our kids in line. All that got to change. But we got to change. The culture ain't dying. But it is getting worse. It is getting worse. But that's all I got for you guys. Like this video. Share this video. Put something in the comment section. I could be off on something. And go check out the website, 6monthsandmarried.com. 6monthsandmarried.com, right? If you need dating advice, marriage advice, if you're trying to get married in a short period of time and be ready and have everything you need, that course is ready for you. That course is ready for you. It's me. It's in video form. It's about 10 or 11 or 12 modules. It won't take you long. Like I say, you'll knock it out in about a week, if that. Go check it out. Got it on sale right now. Go check it out. And I also offer one-on-one calls. If you want to talk one-on-one and do it, check it out. But I appreciate you for watching this video. I love you all. Be blessed.